Hey y'all, it's your girl Ro here, and I want to welcome you to Baking Up Christmas 2022. It's day 5, y'all, of Baking Up Christmas. Now let's get started. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to make my banana pudding cookies. Y'all, these cookies are amazing, and I know these cookies was trending last year. I tried a recipe, and I said, I think it need a little bit something different, so I wanted to create a recipe of my own. And that's what you're going to get in today's video, and trust me, you're going to love these. So starting off with the dry ingredients, in a large bowl, you want to add in 2 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of the banana cream Jell-O pudding mix. And our other ingredients, you need 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a pinch of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You want to take a whisk and whisk that together until everything is well incorporated and set it aside. In another bowl, you want to add 1 1/2 cup of the mini Nilla Wafers, and you just want to crush those down, not into a fine crumble, but into a nice crumble texture as you see here, to give it a nice texture in those cookies. Now in a stand mixer, you want to add in 2 sticks of unsalted softened butter and 3/4 cups of brown sugar, that's light brown sugar, and a 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Using your paddle attachment, you want to cream your butter and sugar together until it starts to stick to your bowl. And when you see it come together like this, it's not ready, but you want to cream it. And when it comes out like this, then you want to stop. Taking your spatula, and this is the consistency it should be. Right here. Just scrape the bottom and make sure everything is incorporated, and this is how it should look after that process. Now we're going to add in 2 large eggs. We're going to go ahead and incorporate these together. And it's going to come out nice and smooth just like this. So this is the consistency you're looking for. You just want to mix until your eggs are incorporated and it comes out like this. Now I'm adding in the flavor. 1 teaspoon of banana extract and a 1/2 teaspoon of cookie nib. You want to mix that together until that flavor is incorporated. And now I'm going to just spoon in and add in, you can do a cup of your flour mixture at a time. Just add it a little bit at a time until the dough comes together. But don't bring it all together until you get to the next step. Now, after you have incorporated all your flour and it has come together, you want to add in all those Nilla wafers all at one time, and you just begin to mix until the dough begins to pull away from your bowl and all those Nilla wafers are incorporated into your dough. This is such a great recipe. I had to pat myself on the back for this one. I'm sure you all are going to love this recipe, and I can't wait until you try it. But before you ask me in the comment section why use baking powder instead of baking soda when a lot of baked cookies include baking soda, well, I'm going to get into that later on in this video. But this is the texture you should come out with, all right? And it is ready to be rolled up. All right. So now we're going to get right into the next step, and that's our cookie sheet, and line it with some parchment paper. And now we're going to separate the caramel. So you don't have to do this, but I wanted to let you know how much you need to include into that cookie. All right. These are medium-sized cookies that I'm going to be making, and I'm using I'm creating a half tablespoon of caramel. All right, that's what needs to go in the center of the medium-sized cookies. All right, so I just separated. I just pre-prep my caramel, and I just set it to the side. And I'm using a smaller scooper. These come in 3 sets, so I'm using a smaller one, but I'm scooping and I'm leveling it off. Make sure you do that. All right, so I'm scooping out 2 scoops to make it a medium-sized cookie. All right, and this recipe yields for 16 to 17 medium-sized cookies. If you want to make them small and just use 1 scoop using this scooper that you see right here in my hand, it's going to make between 30 to 32 cookies. That's the smaller cookies. All right, so see how I brought that together like that? You're just going to take your little caramel, add it to the center, and then begin to fold the cookie up. And make sure it's in there, and just roll it up into a ball and place it onto your parchment paper and the baking sheet. You don't need to spray anything. All right, you don't need to freeze these, but you can. All right, but as you make these, and just like I said, you don't need to do this, but it takes about what I measured out is a half tablespoon of caramel. I'm using Peter's caramel. You can use caramel bites, but whatever you use. So you bake this at 350 degrees for 9 to 10 minutes. Boom. Get out your chessmen cookies and get ready to place them. So once they're done, okay, they're going to look like they're not done. And this is why I use the baking powder, because I wanted my cookies to rise and not spread. All right. Now they are going to be soft. So once they come out, you have to press the chessmen cookie right into these cookies as soon as they come out of the oven. And that creates the crumble-like texture. And that's what I was looking for. I wanted to create something different, and this is what I created. Listen, they're soft, they're moist. The only thing that is a cookie crunch is the chessmen cookie that's going to be on top. All right, so why I use baking powder instead of baking soda? Well, baking powder and baking soda are both leveling agents or ingredients that make baked goods rise. And that's what I wanted my cookies to do, rise instead of spread. All right. So don't panic when you see in your oven they look like a ball and they done blew up or something. They're supposed to rise. All right. Baking soda and baking powder, they look almost identical and they have similar purposes, but they are not the same thing, and they can't always be used interchangeably. All right. Now, if that caramel spill out, which is some cookies may come out like that, allow the cookie to cool down and just use a tool that you just seen me do, and then just push it back up into the cookie. And you're going to see that once they're cooled down. All right. And look at that. It's a nice done cookie. All right. So again, here's the cookie. And once you press the cookie in there, it don't stick into, it don't stay. So you might want to put a little caramel up under there. But I drizzled some chocolate over these cookies. But look at this. They're super soft. Look at that caramel. Let's break that up again. Okay. Even when they cool down, they are still soft and moist. All right, so right here, I'm just showing you, the cookie and how it cooled down, and the caramel. I'm just pushing this caramel back up into the cookie, and look at that. All right. So again, the reason why I use baking powder instead of baking soda, I wanted my cookies to rise and not spread. All right. But since baking powder is compressed of a number of ingredients like baking soda, cream of tartar, and cornstarch, and etc., this is the reason why I use baking powder. So don't come for me in the comment section, oh, you should have used baking soda instead of baking powder. Once you know your ingredients and know what they're gonna do and what you're incorporating, it is gonna work out. So yeah, I create recipes. That's what I do. All right. And this is what I was looking for. A cookie just like this. I'm telling you, this is, if you ain't never had crumble cookies, these are something similar, but they much better. Okay. They are amazing. All right. You got to try this recipe. I will leave it in the description box below this video. All right. These are the banana pudding caramel stuffed, caramel filled cookies. You're going to enjoy it. All right. Be sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe. It's your girl Ro about to go. And I'll see you all in the next video.